all sorts.
Got me doing a little work. Are we good? What'd you say?
Talk.
Sound check. Say something, Jennifer.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As proof, the city employees know how to count.
Ah!
Sibowitz, Sibowitz, Sibowitz. And welcome back to another edition of Mayor's Minutes. My name is Neil Perry. I'm the mayor of the city of Methuen, and I'm getting a little splashback on the screen. Just a reminder that we have switched our medium from Facebook Live to YouTube, so you can ask questions during the program, and we will answer them. The same rules apply. I have Jen Loiselle, who's the Activities Director for the Senior Center and a member of Methuen
Artists
United, right? I want to make sure I get that right. And I'm happy to have her on the show today. And we go fade to black. We're testing them all. Everybody's testing everything. Maybe the mayor looks better blacked out. Who knows? But welcome again. And thank you, Methuen Community Studios, while they're wrestling with some technical difficulties. I don't know that the population appreciates enough what a great job Methuen Community Studios does here every week. So from the mayor back to Methuen Community Studios, thank you very much for everything you do for our community. It is noticed and it is appreciated, right? And believe it or not, even though not a lot of people watch this program live, you'd be amazed how many people come up to me at the listening session and say, Mayor, I watched your show, and I said, live? And they said, no, we watch it recorded. Which is great to hear, right? Because it keeps people informed. We like to talk about a lot that's going on in the city. There is a ton going on in the city as we speak. And we're going to talk about some upcoming events later in the program. But I'm thrilled to finally get Jennifer Loiselle on the program. Thank you, Jen, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's a delight to have you. I'd like to start today's program by, let's tell the constituents a little bit about yourself. Tell your personal story first. Don't go into the artist yet. So talk a little about who you are. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about myself. Let's see, I grew up in Well, I grew up in Massachusetts in foster care, and then I was adopted with my younger sister into a family in Rhode Island. So we moved to Rhode Island when I was about 9 years old, and it was a really cool experience. You know, kind of a lot there to definitely talk about someday, but it was just a really, really cool experience, and I'm very grateful.
How did you make your way back to Massachusetts?
And eventually, I was applying for colleges and ended up at UMass Amherst, which was really fun. With a degree in communications and sociology. After graduating, I think everybody kind of heads towards the city, so we headed towards Boston and met the love of my life, and we eventually found a house in Methuen, and the rest is history.
Good, and Methuen is happier for it. So appreciate having you here. Now let's start talking about Jen, the professional, a little bit, right? So talk a little bit about your job and what it entails. And by the way, I have it on record that you're smashing it out of the park, so I appreciate everything you do for the city.
Thank you so much.
Yep, and appreciate your enthusiasm.
Well,
it's contagious.
It's such a great place to work. It'd be hard not to be enthusiastic going to work at the Methuen Senior Activity Center now as the activity coordinator. And the job is pretty all-encompassing. As the title states, I am the activity coordinator, so most of the activities in the building are my brainchild or a program that has been done in the past, and we're just kind of elevating it or keeping it going. And then we also do day trips and extended tour trips, week-long trips. We do have some national and international in 2024, 2025, so that's really exciting.
That's cool.
And kind of handle all of that, and then just really making sure that everybody's having a good time. That comes down to the center. You know.
So, and let's talk a little bit about the senior center for a minute. So, definitely impacted by COVID.
Absolutely.
We saw people withdraw. I think we've started to see finally, with some of the infusion of talent we put over there, people starting to come back out and come back into the senior center.
It's really exciting, and that's really, really what we want. And what I want to come on here and say that we are open. We have so many fun activities and events going on. We're celebrating our 40th year at the center this entire year, starting in May. And so, you know, COVID was scary. It was a scary time, and let's put that behind us.
Put it behind us and move on.
And move on,
So May is National Elder Month in the United States, right? And so we've got, you know, I've got some slides for upcoming events, but I want to give you, we've got some really cool activities coming up at the senior center as it is, right? Did you want to touch on any of them at all, or?
Absolutely, anytime to plug in some cool things. So today is May 8th. We're taping the show on May 9th. We do have our annual Arts and Crafts Fair and display, and that's a really fun time where students' artworks are on display. So we offer so many classes, from quilting to ceramics to painting. All of the good stuff. And it's a really great time for the students to put their works on display and for others to just see what we offer. Some people might think, oh, painting and what sort of medium, and it's all mediums and it's all levels, you know, and sometimes when you see that, it makes it a little bit easier to dive into.
Well, and I think is one of the things people probably don't understand is, you know, activities at the Senior Center covers everything from rock painting through, you know, you have it. Right?
Yes, to entertainment.
Amen.
Yes. I think we were talking recently about the Gemstones.
We were.
All right, and they're going to perform at the Senior Center in May for Older Americans Month, which is just so exciting. So those are some of the programs that we offer, like you said, just the wide span.
So if if somebody in Methuen is a senior and doesn't get the activity newsletter, which is really well put together, by the way,
Thank you.
You know, how can they stay abreast of what's going on at the senior center?
There's a few different ways. One, more than welcome to take telephone calls. So if you'd like, just shoot us a call, 978-983-8825. That's the main number, and we'll talk you through what we got going on that day or that week, how to get there, the resources available. The newsletter, though, you can also find online at the city's website.
Correct.
And we also have a social media, Friends of the Senior Methuen Activity Center page.
Right.
So just trying to advertise in all different ways. The newsletter, physical copies you can find at the housing authorities, the library, City Hall.
Yeah, good thing. So tomorrow, you started talking about it and I kind of cut you off. So tomorrow's May 9th, and there's a couple of two events that I'm aware of at the senior center, right?
Yes, yes. There's the Arts and Crafts Festival, which is the display of students' artwork, and that's really, really fun and a great time, and just a great time to come in, see what we offer. You know, maybe check out something that you thought, oh, I'd love to get into that. Get into it. Get into it. And then our wonderful Happy Hearts Choral group is performing at 1 o'clock. And if you haven't seen one of their shows, I mean, it's
fantastic.
They're really fantastic. And there's such a welcoming, I mean, it's a over 40 person choir at this point. Super welcoming to anybody and everybody to come see them or come join them.
Well, and as you know, I've sung with them a couple of times. I am amazed, struck by the passion that they have. And I give kudos to Sue Foster, for, you know, no pun intended, fostering that love of performing, right? Because when they get up to Happy Hearts, they put their heart and soul into it.
Yes, and I think the Happy Hearts, I mean, has been as long as the center for 40 years. And Sue's been at the helm for such a long time. I mean, this year they tried out for America's Got Talent even.
Did they hear back?
I'm not sure if they heard back, but what a cool experience. And we saw those videos at the music hall. And
so
so if you haven't seen them.
So in the organ hall, you can go see those videos online. If you see the video of the group performing at the organ hall, you're like, wow, this is great stuff.
And you can join them. Come down to the center.
Right? Yes. If you just want to sing, if you're one of those singer in the showers and you're a senior, you can join the Happy Hearts Chorus. So it's never too late.
Never too late.
Never too late. All right. So just a reminder that tomorrow there's an art show and a jewelry sale, I believe.
And jewelry sale. Oh, you're good. Yes, you're hitting on all of them.
I keep up on my seniors.
Yes.
Since I'm there.
So we want to say come in and check things out, but there is the jewelry sale and the thrift shop is open, so you know, maybe bring your purse as well.
You never know what you might find there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about other activities, right? So we've got tomorrow's a big day, and if you're not doing anything, please go down and check it out. And I would say, you know, the theme for the show is come on down and check us out, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, if you forget everything else, Jennifer and I say to you over the next, 40 minutes or so, come on down and check out the senior center, right? It's time to come back out and participate. And let me tell you, there is a lot of good that comes out of just being able to have a conversation with another person.
Just being social,
Yeah, it's good for you. So come on out, get back involved. Now, we've got a new executive director of the COA, Ashley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ashley, so Ashley joined us, well, it seems like she's been part of the family for
a couple months. Seems like forever, though,
forever,
right?
Yeah. But she joined us a couple months ago, hit the ground running, and has been a wonderful addition
Good to hear.
to the staff. Absolutely.
And I know, I had her on the show a couple weeks ago, and she echoed kind of the same sentiment, right? Our appeal is to our seniors in Methuen, right? There's some fabulous programs. There's some I didn't even, there's lunch, a daily lunch at the senior center.
Yes.
Right? That you can go down and partake in. And I believe it's no cost.
It is, they ask for a $2 donation,
Yep.
but if you don't have that, that's not going to
Right.
keep you away. And
Right.
and it's delicious food.
It is.
And you just are sitting and having a meal with other people,
Yeah,
and that's
which
so
is so
important.
good for you. Yeah, yeah. And so I want to make sure we're not talking about Meals on Wheels. That's a separate program, right? So at the senior center, there's a lunch provided daily, and you can participate in it.
It's part of the same program, but it's a congregate meal. So we have it there, and it's served to you there.
Love it.
So it comes in, you get a nice big plate, and
Yeah.
it's served fresh for you every single day. At 11:30, come down a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
So you can
Find out
see
what's
what
being
else we
served.
have.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, and that menu is also online, and we're trying to add it into our newsletters also
Yeah.
that we put out into the
Yeah.
community. So
Yeah.
lots of good stuff.
Excellent,
Yeah,
yeah.
today was chicken salad and a butternut squash soup.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
Really?
I don't think you can beat that for $2.
No, I was just going to say, for $2,
Yeah.
that's, you show me where you can get that, right? I can't even go, I was explaining to somebody before I came in here, I'm hooked on these egg white things at Starbucks. It's little egg whites with roasted red peppers in them. Addictive, right?
All right, they get you.
They do.
Yeah.
They get you coming and going. But
We'll
to
have
the,
to add that to our lunch menu.
Well, go to the senior centers. The mayor watches to see when bologna and cheese comes up. I joke with the schools all the time. When is bologna and cheese happening, right? So it used to be my favorite lunch.
That's
So,
funny.
all right. We talked about May 9th. I'm just trying to, organize in my mind where we've been here. We talked about, the hot lunch program, Meals on Wheels. I think, what we're trying to get to here is it's now safe to come back out.
Yeah.
Right? It's now safe to reengage, and there is tons of anecdotal evidence that just sitting and talking to another human being while you're eating your lunch is beneficial for you from a health perspective.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
Mayor, if I could, I'd
please.
love to, as we're talking about coming on out, I'd love to just let people know about the transportation programs
Sure.
that we have available,
Please.
because
Yeah.
I think that can
Yeah.
be an obstacle, right, to get in. So this year, MEVA was granted a federal grant, so they have free rides to seniors,
Right.
which is amazing.
Right.
If you call the center, which is again 978-983-8825, we will get an application in the mail to you right away so that you can apply for that ride system. That allows you to, up to 2 days in advance, I think you can call and say, hey, I saw this really great program at
Right.
the senior center, and I'd love to get in.
Right.
And they'll ensure that a van comes and picks you up at home and
Yeah.
brings you to the senior center, or really wherever you'd like to go in the
medical
Merrimack Valley.
appointment or shopping. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then bring you home. So that's one program. And then the second program that we have, rideshare program, is called NEAT. And that's serving the transportation needs of our elders. It's for medical rides only, so that's for medical appointments or anything medically related. And that's also grant funded this
Yeah.
year for free for seniors. And so these are two really, really great programs.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hear people say, I just can't get there.
Right.
And we don't want that to be an obstacle, because you can.
Yeah, you can. Well, and so let me, the mayor, and I may not have to, is the biggest fan of MEVA around. So I get MEVA rides twice a week to my dialysis appointments, and they're fantastic.
So you can attest to just how
So
incredible they
They
are.
literally show up at my house. There's a lift that allows my walker to get picked up and put into the bus. They take me, and the thing I want to echo for folks in the community is you can specify a drop-off and a pickup time. they'll take you there and pick you up and bring you home, right? And you can do that multiple times a week. So whether you're going to a doctor's appointment or you wanted to go, let's say you wanted to go see the jewelry show and the art show tomorrow at the senior center, you could call. Well, you're probably past the time right now, so they close at 5. But if you call the ADA hotline, they take reservations 7 days a week, even when they're not there. If you have some kind of,
if you're registered.
Correct, if you're registered. So they will take you literally to doctors, to lawyers, to shopping, to get your hair done, to the senior center. It's a great program. I worry that people are too skeptical because you see the buses going around and they say gratis, free, right? And a couple of people in front of me have said, "Oh, free. It's got to be some kind of hook." There's no hook.
There's not.
There is no hook.
No.
Right? I mean, it's a fabulous, fabulous opportunity. So if you're out there, whether you're going to go to the senior center or you're going to a doctor's appointment, or whatever, call Merrimack Valley Regional Transit Authority. They're fantastic. In fact, the mayor was so impressed, I did a commercial for him.
Did you really?
Yeah, with the state auditor. So we did a commercial, and my part of the commercial was I showed, getting my walker up on the lift and how they get us up on the bus. It's just fantastic. Right?
That's great. So thank you.
Well,
so I think that's really important. We definitely want people to come out, and if you don't have a vehicle or don't have a ride, that's really not a problem.
All right. So we'll come back to the senior center in a minute, but let's talk a little bit about the other part of your life outside of your family, which is Methuen Artists United, which is a group I wholeheartedly support, whose really main issue is focused on beautifying the city a little bit, right?
Right.
So talk a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, we talked earlier about moving to Methuen, and so when I moved to Methuen in 2017 from the Somerville area, there was so much art in Somerville, and it was kind of one of the first things that Methuen's so beautiful, but there was like, where's the color? And how can I help to bring the color, and I do believe that being enthusiastic about it, art is really my passion, and so it always makes me smile talking about it. I just always take any opportunity to share my love of art and how important it is for people to see art and have an opportunity to interact with it, even if it is just driving by a mural. You might never set foot in an art museum, but you might see the really cool mosaics on the rail trail, and say, oh my goodness, this is outdoor art and this is different. And so I was so lucky to just get hooked up with some other fellow local artists, John Hadley and Diane Moore, and together we set off to do just that, help to beautify Methuen.
Yeah, and you've done some, shame on me, we should have brought some pictures of some of your work. So the junction boxes down by the fire station, I know you painted those over, and they look spectacular.
Thank you. It was really, really, really cool opportunity.
And I know you're in talks with the mayor to do some of the crosswalks in the city.
Which is very exciting.
I'm super pumped about. But, I mean, there's so many opportunities. So if, how would somebody get involved with Methuen Artists United if they wanted to?
So you could always go to our website at MEthuenArtistsUnite.org and send us a message that way, or email us at MEthuenArtistsUnite@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, we're on social media. You know where to find me at the Senior Center.
Yes, we do. Yes,
and really, we meet twice a month, the second Saturday of the month at Nevins Library. We're so grateful to Nevins for continuously finding a space for our growing group. So,
best library in the Commonwealth.
Yes.
And you also, I don't want you to sell yourself short. So I have never been to a city function, whether it's Methuen Day or, and I say 4th of July, you know, I do 4th like this, because we do it the 6th. So Methuen Artists United has always been supportive and had people there and participating in activities. They kind of help. You know, I watched what you did last Methuen Day, and, you know, I could see so many parents of young kids thrilled to be able to have their children participate in an artistic endeavor. And, you know, all the while they were downtown at Methuen Day, right? So,
yeah, thank you so much. It's been really part of, that's one of the joys of our group, to get out to these citywide events and allow adults, children, seniors to participate in an art project in the moment and leave with something. And it also just shows, you know, all of us the importance of art and what we're trying to do in beautifying Methuen through art.
I don't know if you're aware, you may not be aware of it, but John Hadley did some work for Joe Cosgrove related to the transfer station. So he's developed some signage that we're going to present to City Council on May 20th. And to me, it's a big step forward in the transfer station. So you know, the residents probably sitting out there saying, the mayor's talking about the transfer station with art. So there isn't any place in the city that can't be helped by a little bit better look.
But yes, and it seems like, you know, the signs, but they are art.
Oh, they are.
You know, to this digital art, it's a lot that goes behind. Well, even the color hues. So we're really, that's happy news.
All the colors of my socks, right?
Right,
so,
exactly. I'm very excited about those socks.
There you go. Look at that flash right there. There you go. Those are the colors. So I think residents are going to be super pleased when they see the signage at the transfer station. There's a lot more that we need to do at the transfer station, but this is an important first step, right? So that when you drive in, you immediately know, okay, if I've got bulk cardboard waste, where do I go?
Right.
What section of the landfill do I go to, right? But more to come on that. And
a huge thank you to the city for tapping a local artist.
Well, so we like to, you know, one of the things that we haven't done in my administration as well as we could have, is, you know, former mayors had the Artist of the Month. And I wonder if, you know, I'll toss this out to you and you can take it to the Artists United. You know, does that merit bringing back, right? Because it kind of fell apart during COVID because we couldn't bring people in to see the art. So what would happen is there's a number of people that are very artistic. Yourself, Jen Marks, for example. It's very
incredible.
I've got a couple of paintings in my office from her that are just fantastic. And I'll say this, I'd buy her paintings, right, any day of the week.
Right. And there'll be some on display tomorrow.
Tomorrow I won't get there. You may have to take some
pictures.
You have to
hold on to them for you, huh?
But they're beautiful, right? And she does a lot of landscapes, really
just
well done.
Gorgeous. Yeah, just gorgeous. Yeah. I would absolutely say bring back Artist of the Month, Mayor.
Okay.
Definitely.
And I think it's time to do it now that we're here at a different point in time to your opening of the show. Put that behind us now. Let's bring it back. And, you know, like I said, I throw it out to the citizens and say, we're looking for your suggestions too, right? We're looking at crosswalks. We're looking at, guide boxes for the light poles. Those are already being done. Those are things we're already stepping up to do. Where else could we use it, right? And so, you know, this is going to sound crazy, Jennifer, but I lumped this in with the trash in one sense, right? So I think a lot of work has been done. A lot of work continues to be done on making our city look better, right? But we've got an important step to take, that we've got to also spread the message that it's not cool to throw your trash on the ground, right? And I hate to do that when we're talking arts, but you know, if I've got you, and I say this wholeheartedly, I know you decorate one of the islands in the city.
Yes.
People say, you know, how do you get to do that? You just sign up for it. And your island is, to me, the best island, right? The best. And I decorate one, right? I say that, right? I have one, and I say shamefully, you know, I have somebody do it for me, obviously. I look at Jennifer's island and I say, wow, that's how I want my island to look.
There's
right?
some really gorgeous ones throughout the city, but it's really a fun project.
Yeah.
And to any, I also am never down with throwing trash on the ground and polluting, and that was one of the first projects that Methuen Artists Unite did, was by painting the trash cans, and DVW in the office was so incredible, and pulling those out for citywide events still, which is really great. And so just thank you. I'm sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
Well, it's all, to your point, it's all in beautification of the city, right?
Right.
So, and I say this for the constituents, to take a little break here. So the mayor is going to present a trash ordinance to the city council on May 20th. It's the next step in the trash program, the Much Ballyhooed trash program. And I want to say special kudos to Deputy Chief Randy Hager, who yesterday epitomized the behavior that I expect from all of us, including me. He was driving, and I won't say where in Methuen, in a neighborhood in Methuen, and he sees the Harvey trash truck turning the trash over, and it's leaving mess everywhere it goes. Now, people might say, well, it's easy for him because he's the deputy chief, but he stops the truck, and he says to the driver, well, what are you going to do about that? And the driver gives him a little bit of kerfuffle, and then eventually the driver picks up all the trash, right? And that's the expectation, and that was reported to Harvey. But, I say this to the constituents, right? When it comes to trash, we're probably getting a B+, A-, right? And the only reason I waver is because we still got too much trash going in our recycle barrels, right?
Yeah.
So we're at 16%, and a city like Lawrence is at 9%. So if Lawrence can make 9%, Methuen can make 9%, right? And so we're going to talk more about that. But there's a trash ordinance coming before City Council, and I want everybody to come to the City Council meeting and hear it, right? Because this is what we call Phase 3, right? So we did the first 2 phases, and now, we have people who are voluntarily abiding by the guidelines, and then they got a neighbor who's sticking trash in their 4 recycle bins. Okay, so we need those individuals to understand that's not going to last forever either.
Yeah.
Right? So now's the time to take that next step. So please come to City Council. But let's get back to the art, because I don't like to talk about trash. And I've said a million times, every morning my front lawn is adorned with either Burger King or Dunkin' Donuts. That's the same thing I say, Jennifer. Yeah. I just don't understand that mentality, right? What would make you think driving down a road, roll down a window and just dump something out, right?
I think we talk about beautifying Methuen as artists, right? But it's really, we all have a hand to play in making our city, one, beautiful, and just in general the city that we want it to be. Yeah. So you can wait for maybe somebody else to come and pick up the trash in your neighborhood. That's, but it's also like you can also go out there and grab it yourself, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right,
now back on the so do you guys run any and if you don't, we probably should citywide sanction them. Any art classes. So I look at what you do, and I say this with jealousy. I look at what John Hadley does with jealousy, because I'm not artistic by nature, right? But what you guys do is terrific. What I worry about is how are we passing that down to other generations in Methuen, right? How are we teaching them the love of art, right? So are there things that we could do as a city that you think that, would be achievable in difficult financial times? How do we foster that love of art? No, it's a tough question, so I apologize.
No, it's a great question. I think there are simple things that you could do in the schools, just in terms of bringing in books, growing the libraries at the school, because so many books just come with incredible cover art, and I know that's a silly thing, but it's an exposure to art that some folks don't have. What you were talking about, bringing back the Artist of the Month, Art at the City, in terms of fostering it for children, I think just having this sort of conversation, Steve Angelo did such a great job at the rec department and hosting art classes pre-COVID, and so now maybe it's time after COVID to get those started.
Get back in, right?
To get back in. And we have such wonderful, the departments work so well together. The Nevins, I cannot say enough great things about the Nevins, but it's just such a beautiful artistic space, and they're so wonderful with children. So they do have some really, really great programs that they offer right now, and so that's something that a child could get involved in immediately. And I would love to see the city down the line, start to offer more art for youth and for adults as well.
Oh, and which, I think one of the things where you're going to hear it is we're pushing hard to get that youth center going, and that's a good thing. And I say this candidly. So we do a lot of things athletically for our children in the city. We need to do more for the arts and the humanities space, right?
Right.
And I'm talking music. I'm talking all of that, right? You need to foster a love of that as well, right?
Right.
It's not just all about lacrosse or baseball or football or this or that,
Which is so great that there's amazing associations. We've talked about this before. I have a daughter who has some health issues that make it really hard for her to play sports, and so we do actively seek out things that are outside of that sports realm, and I'm so grateful for the things that in the city that are outside of the sports realm.
Keep your eyes peeled at the central school. So you're going to be amazed at what happens.
It's exciting times.
It is an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be in Methuen. We've got development downtown like you wouldn't believe. I'm super pumped about it. It's an opportunity to take some of the eyesores that have been there for so long and finally turn them into visual works that people can appreciate, right? So, so we're going to be depending upon you a lot. I wanted to go back to the discussion on tomorrow at the Senior Center. I would just want to remind people, I think I have a slide in there, but while we're talking about it, the art show begins in the morning, correct?
Correct, yes. Okay. It's kind of an all-day long event. So the jewelry sale starts at 8:30. Yep. There's a coffee hour that starts at 9 o'clock. At 10 a.m., we do have kind of like a little opening ceremony to the day. And we have a community recognition award. And so would love for folks to be there and just
support it.
Support it, yes. I didn't know it was don't want to give it away, but just support it. And and then we have lunch and then the Happy Heart Show. So it's really from 8:30 to 3 o'clock. There'll be stuff going on all day. Super.
That's tomorrow, May 9th. And then I know next week the mayor has an ice cream social.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that we have something going on next week,
I talked to my friends and somebody asked me, it is JG's ice cream. So I've talked to my friends at JG's. So we're bringing the Make Your Own Sunday kit May 15th to the Senior Center. So I expect to see a lot of seniors there eating a lot of ice cream, including you, Jennifer, right? Not that you're a senior, but...
it's already a very hot, popular event.
Well, ice cream's ice cream, right? And I got to be honest with you, I love going to the Senior Center.
It's really, really great. You know, so the ice cream social also does coincide with just at the tail end with the beginning of our adopted grandparent program.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's really fun. We'll have a few of the high school kids that are kind of coming in at the tail end of your
that's terrific.
Ice cream special. And I thought that would be really nice.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about, and I'm not trying to put you on the gun, some of the other programs that happen. So there were all kinds of. So we talked about the jewelry show and the
classes,
the singers, and, So what other things can seniors come down and by the way, Farola would kill me if I didn't say this. Tomorrow. I assume the blood pressure clinic still goes on, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So come down and get your blood pressure taken before you have lunch while you're shopping for jewelry, before the chorus sings, you can get all that done. Like a shopping trip for a day,
exactly, right? It's a one-stop shop, actually. It's the best
one-stop
Thursday.
shop is exactly right.
So let's see, aside from, the blood pressure clinic is one of the additional programs that we have. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we host a blood pressure clinic. We have so many resources available, so I just want to throw that out. If there's a question about food insecurity or utility costs or anything like that, give the center a call. There's no judgment. We all need a little bit of help, and we have the help for you. So we can either have somebody in-house or find the right person to connect you to.
Yeah, and this is as good a time as any to bring up that we still have the program that we put in place to kind of help our seniors and our most vulnerable with rent or utilities or whatever the necessary expenses are. So we are still running that program where we are supplementing our seniors and our most vulnerable populations for some of the expenses that they can't absorb, right? And we're focused on roof over your head, heat and utilities, and the food piece of it. So those are the three big pieces from the city's perspective. There's still money set aside that the mayor set aside from ARPA, and thank you, council, for agreeing to do that. So we, I don't know how much you watch the city council, but we recently went back to them and said, we're making headway, but we're not giving enough money away. And that may sound, so, we're struck every week by a senior as somebody who really should get the help, but doesn't qualify numerically with the federal program. So we've asked for some changes in the program. Council supported that. So, we're going to have another event before the fall at the senior center where we bring in the utilities, who the mayor is not happy with, and we're going to talk through, options for payments with them. Right, we'll bring in GLCAC, so we could look at RAFT and all those other things associated with. But I guess the message I want to leave you with is, if you're a senior and you're struggling, either pick up the phone and call, our senior center, a great team, and we have our Health and Human Services group, Kelly Townsend and Jasmine Nunez. Jasmine does a great job.
Amazing job.
Amazing, always there. And are there times when we can't find housing or something? Yeah, absolutely. But let me tell you, those people don't go down fighting, right? They're fighting for you constantly to try to make sure that, the best happens to the seniors from the city of Methuen. Okay, so we talked about the blood pressure clinic. I'm safe now.
Yep.
I won't get beaten.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is good.
Do you ever have yours taken?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I unfortunately, I did suffer high blood pressure when I was pregnant with my son that never went down. And so it's one of my highlights of my week as well. Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah. And then so we talked about some of the resources that we have, which what a great team to just find yourself on. Really, I just love my job.
They're a great group,
They're a great group. And then we also do just a ton of informational workshops and programs. So we just had like a caretakers program where we, HSPAN hosted a 6-week informational program giving tips, tricks, strategies for those who find themselves taking care of an elder. We even have like caretakers of grandkids kind of program, or grandparents to grandkids. Heart health, all the healths. So much fun, and then fun things like we have theater groups that come in, and bands and comedians and music bingo and music trivia. So really try to do a little something for everybody.
And you talked a little bit earlier, and I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to give you a break in a couple of minutes where we're going to do ads for upcoming events. You get to think about what you want to say towards the end.
Love it.
You referenced, there's also trips So you guys do trips too. Talk a little bit about that, right?
Yes.
'Cause I don't think enough people know about it.
Right? Yes, yes, it's so exciting. So we do trips. I feel like they're pretty, they're affordable trips. Generally around $120 for a full day. That includes the travel, food, and then whatever it is that you're going to do. So some of the trips this year, for instance, are we're heading down to Newport to see Nonsensical play. So that should be fun. There's a Cape Cod Canal cruise and luncheon, Halloween at Indian Head. So just to name a few. And so generally we do those as day trips. So you're out, you're back within the day, and it's a nice, easy trip. And then we also, and that's through Royal Tours LLC, which has been great to the center. So thank you, Royal Tours. And then we also work with Colette Vacations to do those extended tour trips. And now that's a little bit more because that's airfare and hotel and some food. But this year we have San Antonio Christmas time trip.
Nice. Riverwalk.
Riverwalk, yes, which just looks like it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous trip, actually. And then there's a trip to the Canadian Rockies.
Oh, super.
And so these are really fun. Colette, it does work really closely with me when anybody has questions or is looking to book. But just really so fun. And, you know, COVID, see you later.
See you
trips,
later.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yes.
I like how you're thinking. So when you're talking about, so you piqued my interest. I'm a huge fan of Halloween, believe it or not. Always have been all my life.
Me too.
And it's you know, if it's not, it may not be more popular than Christmas for me, but it's right there, right? And so you mentioned an event at Indian Head. So can you describe a little bit what that would involve?
So it's Halloween party at Indian Head.
With that.
Yeah, so bring your costume. Just get prepared to have some food, some dancing, costume contests, right? Let's see who comes home a winner. Will it be you? And then and Indian Head, which is just, if you haven't been up there, and it is so gorgeous. So you get a chance to just scope out that, take, have a great time in the ballroom and see everybody's crazy, fun, wacky costumes.
Tagging along on that trip, by the way. So.
I think this might be a fun one. Yes.
I've looked at. I think before my health issues last year, I had looked at one and I said, I'm gonna do this.
We were so close.
We were so close, and then I had my health issues. But I love that Halloween. So
I was the Queen of Hearts last year, so I've just got to step it up this year somehow.
Bring out his head. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute pause here. I'm going to go do some ads for upcoming events. And Jennifer, we're going to give you time to collect your thoughts and think about what other message do you want to leave with the residents of the city of Methuen, right? So let's do our upcoming events if we could, MCS. So first of all, the original Taste of Methuen is May 22nd from 6 to 9 p.m. It is a new location. There were some elevator inspection issues at the Armory, so it's been moved to the Lawrence Elks Lodge. Yes, it's outside Methuen, but only because of the short notice. We will get it back into Methuen. But look at all those $40 for a ticket, and you can literally, I'm going to use the word graze. You can graze on food from all these various places: Casablanca, Harrow's, Fireside, the Irish Cottage, Jersey Mike's, Mann's, George's, you name it. All right, Pika's. Outstanding food, and a great opportunity to support the Exchange Club, who this is their main fundraiser. So come on out. The mayor has a table, and he will be there with members of his staff. Come on and enjoy the Taste of Methuen, May 22nd. Next slide, please. There's another Taste of Methuen. So we got, I said to Jordan, we don't have enough. We don't have an ad for Taste of Methuen. Now we have 2.
Looks
so
good,
up to 18 Methuen restaurants and food businesses, and they're donating their food. So let me say this again: The tickets will not be sold at the door. You must buy in advance. They're $40. 16 and under, they're $20. 5 and under are free. You can contact Jack McLeod or Linda Buell for tickets. But support this. So here's another example of the core small businesses of the city of Methuen stepping up to do the right thing, and they're not getting, financial ramification out of it. So come on out to the Taste of Methuen and enjoy all those restaurants have to do. And by the same token, patronize those restaurants in the meantime. Next slide. Can you go back one slide? Because I want to point out one thing. So there is beer, wine, and other beverages. There will be a cash bar. Because it's at a different location, there's a cash bar. So just want to make sure people know in advance. Next slide. So the listening tour, I got one more scheduled. It is Tuesday, May 21st, 2 weeks from last night, from 6:30 to 8 at Ellie's Farmhouse. Thank you, Rick Angelo, for letting us do that. This is for residents of the Central District. We've done 2 in the East, 2 in the West, and 1 in the Central. We did last night at the fabulous Nevins Library, best library in the Commonwealth. But if you want more details, call my office at 978-983-8505 and come on out. And yeah, the mayor knows the roads are in tough shape, but come on out and let's talk about it. Next slide. The Leaf Yard Weight Program, I won't go through this. It's already started, other than holidays, and it's going to go, weather permitting, through Thanksgiving this year, something we've never been able to do before. So kudos to Pat Bowers, Felix Garcia, and the DPW guys. We now have our own packet truck, and that makes this. Just remember, paper bags only. You can put it in a bin if you put the orange lawn leaf sticker on it, right? They'll pick it up from there as well. Brush has to be tied. There's the, measure with how it has to be tied. So just make sure you do that. Next slide. Street sweeping underway. That's all I'm going to say about that, weather permitting. It doesn't sweep on rainy days, but I did see they did House Street the other day. Looked marvelous, right? People talk a lot about the litter in the streets. Let me tell you, we've got DPW employees working hard full-time to try to pick up some of the trash. Let's help them. Stop throwing the trash on the ground. The barrels are there for a reason. Next slide. There you go.
Hey.
Your ad. So tomorrow, Arts and Crafts Festival at 8:30 a.m., the jewelry sale in the lobby. 10 a.m. is the grand opening celebration of National Older Americans Month. I would be there, but I have a doctor's appointment. And then 1 o'clock, the Happy Hearts Chorus. And then June 14th, I will be there. The Methuen Senior Activity Center celebrates its 40th anniversary of doing a fabulous job for our community. So thank you guys for all you do, and thank you, Jennifer, for all you do.
Thank you.
Next slide. The Fishing Derby is this coming Saturday at Forest Lake, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free event open to Methuen residents of all ages. No registration required. You can fish from the shore or from a boat. If you're fishing from a boat, make sure if you're a child, you have an adult with you. Limited number of rods will be available to borrow, but probably better to bring your own if you have it. And I'll be there to award the trophies at the end. Lunch and refreshments provided by our always supportive Methuen Firefighters Local 1691. They are a great group. Jim and the team.
One of my favorite events, the Fishing Derby.
They do. It's such a great event, right? We could do this thing spring and fall.
You could.
Literally, right?
Right.
Next slide. Our flag replacement, volunteers still needed, Saturday, May 18th. So this Saturday after this one, we'll replace all of the flags on the graves of veterans who were interred in the city of Methuen. This is both a fun day and a way of saying thank you. We need to step up and do more to recognize the sacrifices our veterans have made. Paul Jensen, our VSO, has done a lot of good things, but we need to do more. And I'm going to start talking now about, the Veterans Day Parade. It should be as crowded as the Santa Parade. All right, and we're going to talk more about that as time comes forward. But come and join us Saturday, May 18th. There will be a breakfast at 8:30. And then promptly thereafter, we will separate in groups to replace the flags. This is a really, really awesome event and something to teach your children about respect for the veterans that have gone before us and provide us the freedoms that we get. Next slide. Skate and read. I won't make the same joke I make every week, Jennifer. Skate, then read. So it's underway, and it runs through the end of the month, 4 to 6 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Cost is $180. That could be prorated by Methuen Rec if you want to join now. So visit MethuenRec.com. Great job, Steve. Next slide. A Veterans Pig Roast at Forest Lake. That is Sunday, June 23rd, 11 to 3, rain or shine. This one you must register in advance for. So there will be a bouncy house if you bring your kids. You're encouraged to bring your lawn chairs. June 23rd at Forest Lake will be gorgeous weather. And it's a joint event with Bedford VA, who have various booths with VA benefits. Other providers are welcome. Please contact our Veterans Office. And again, supported by Methuen Fire Department and the Bedford VA. Methuen Fire Department, always there when you need them. Always there when you need them. Next slide. Methuen Youth Soccer, upcoming clinics. I've advertised this June and August. Registration opening soon. Go to MethuenSoccer.org. Next slide. Youth Lacrosse. Our summer clinic is August 6th through 8th. Fastest growing sport in America. Visit MethuenLax.com and register now. Next slide. Oh, that's it. All right, good. So we're back in time for Jennifer to do her. So you had 6 minutes while the mayor rambled there to kind of think about what other important messages do you want to, resonate in the constituents of the community. Go ahead.
Was that 6 minutes, really?
It was.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, really just thank you so much for the opportunity to come on and talk a little bit about art and all the wonderful things that we have going on at the Senior Center. We have such an incredible staff at the Senior Center, and I really would just love to encourage everybody to come on down and check out what the center is about. The building is so much bigger than it looks.
It is.
And we have more than I'm sure I'm telling you all about right now. And anybody in that office is absolutely more than willing to really stop what we're doing and give you a tour and let you meet some old friends and make some new friends. Right. So we just really encourage you to come on out with my Senior Center cap on, and then with my artist cap on. I'd say really encourage you to contact Methuen Artists Unite, get involved in the arts, get involved in beautifying your community. It's really, really an exciting time to be in the city.
So, and as the mayor, let me say, thank you for all you do, both at the Senior Center and to make our community look better.
Thank you.
It is appreciated and it is noticed. So welcome back anytime. For the constituents, today is the 8th. We are back here the 15th next week. We have a couple guests, but we will not be here the 22nd because that's the night of the Taste of Methuen. So my expectation is we'll see you at the Taste of Methuen. But in the meantime, as Jennifer said, there's tons of evidence that talks about the benefits that are brought about, and let me soft pedal the arts for a minute because I'm somebody who can't draw a straight line with a ruler. So there is enormous benefit from being able to just dine with, talk to, sit in the presence of other people who are in similar age categories and talk about, happenings and things that you jointly experience, right? There's tons of medical evidence that do not sit at home and suffer in silence, right? Reach out. And I say reach out, whether you're reaching out to be involved in, the Methuen Artists United, or to get involved in a program down there, or you're struggling and you can't make you can't make ends meet. Can I say we can solve every problem? I can't. But we will do our absolute best to kind of shepherd you through some difficult times. So like Jennifer said, come on down to the senior center and meet our fabulous staff. And they are truly fabulous. And the mayor has nothing but thanks for the great work that they do for our community each and every day. So that's today's program, May 8th, 2024. Thank you, Jennifer, for coming on.
Thank you.
You are a delight to have on. You can come back on anytime. We're back here next week. In the meantime, don't get depressed by the gloomy weather today and tomorrow. My understanding is it's going to be rainy kind of through the end of the week. But I guess, you know, if April showers bring May flowers, I don't know what May showers bring, right?
More flowers.
Yeah, we're going to have more and more days like Monday that was sunny
So
and 75
gorgeous.
and was so nice, right? So look at the way the mayor looks at it. We can put the snow behind us now, right? And it's now time to move on. So God bless you all. Stay healthy in the meantime. And if you need something, just reach out to us, either at the Senior Center or at the mayor's office. And we'll be back here next week, May 15th. Take care.